we'll do the live thing first. Like. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bigmark podcast. It's me, your host, Bigmark. If it's your first time watching, welcome. If not, welcome back. Like we always say, if you ever want to reach out to the podcast, let us know if you want to hear about an episode or come on an episode, as my good buddy Adam is right now. You can always hit us up in the DMs. You can always hit us up in the comments even. And I just want to hear from y'all. I want to hear what you think about the episodes and if you have an idea for another one or anything like that. So let us know at the Bigmark Pod, at the Bigmark Podcast, Twitter, Instagram. If you're watching on YouTube, follow along, subscribe, do all those things. It's the best way you could possibly support the podcast is by doing what you're doing already, listening and watching. But again, follow along, like the videos, like everything you can. And like I said, I want to hear from you. And if you want to go that extra mile, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/BigmarkPod. And there's a couple different levels you can support the podcast today. But let's get down to brass tacks here. It's a good day because we have a guest on. Finally, it's been so long since the podcast has been on. I've never actually had you on the podcast as a guest. Great friend of mine, great brother of mine, bandmate, and all around good guy, Adam Rogerson. Here he is. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Absolutely. How's that microphone sounding there? Sounding pretty good.
Sounding tight.
It's always interesting when we do these. It's like I have this like next time I get the studio, because as everyone knows, we're moving the studio. You might even see remnants of moving boxes or little corners of moving boxes in the frame here. But I want to get like a mic stand, obviously, for the guest as well, because it is tough. I mean, Adam is also a musician, as I mentioned. He's also Adam and I played in, I guess, technically 3 bands.
Few name changes along the way.
Few name changes along the way, but then the first iteration was just me, you, and Luke, and then I guess me, you, and then like Alexa and all those different types of things, and then I guess what was it, Wide Isles? At the end of the day, we left it.
Fine Lions, Wide Isles.
We can't do Fine Lions because we got attacked by that guy in Texas. Yeah. Remember that?
Cease and desist.
So for anyone who's listening who doesn't know, Adam and I were in a band. And hold that thought there. I'm just gonna adjust your level a little bit there, Adam, because I think we're just getting a little bit of a weaker signal.
All right, sounds good.
But you hold on. We'll just fix it right now. Let's hear you.
Yo.
Oh yeah, we're back in business now.
We're in it.
So as we were saying there, so if there was a minor break there, we were just readjusting Adam's levels there, because as we're talking, we are musicians, so things have to sound good here. But Adam and I were originally in a few bands, as we said, and Fine Lions got greasy because we were trying to come up with a band name, and this was like honestly one of the hardest things ever, was coming up with a band name. And like, maybe we'll get to the whole story today, maybe not. But like we ended up finding this one name, Fine Lions, like FINELIONS, like the animal, but it kind of sounded like Fine Lines. It was just like, it felt like a really good name. We all loved it. We didn't, like, honestly, I don't know how we missed it, because every other name we ever thought of, we like looked it up, and there was mad times where it just didn't work. So anyway, we missed it. We started like posting it. We like started an Instagram handle and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, this mofo from fucking Texas sends us a cease and desist.
Yeah, Fine Lion, just singular
was their name. Right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't even
different country too. So we thought we were in the clear, but I guess not.
And we had just come from another band that had like some weirdness with figuring out a name, so we didn't want to fuck around. So anyway, we left that one at Wide Isles, I guess. But again, one of that band unfortunately was a COVID casualty, as with many bands. But you since have joined the firefighting
realm?
Brotherhood?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you went to school and you fucking battled through
Yeah, a little bit of a grind to get in, but found our way.
So how long did it end up taking you, like, from start to finish? Like, if anyone was like thinking about becoming a firefighter, how long did it take you?
I think it varies pretty
Okay.
drastically from person to person. I know, some guys 10 years of grinding and spending money on the whole process and renewing licenses and this and that and the other thing. But I felt pretty fortunate. I think I was under 3 years all in, which really, I felt pretty fortunate because you could definitely burn out from just the process of getting in alone. And then a lot of guys won't get in who are they would be good firefighters, but they didn't get the lucky stars lined up for getting in, but the way it goes.
So my roommate in university, I think I've probably mentioned this at some point, but his dad was like I guess, I don't know if he was like the chief, but he was like really high up in Owen Sound firefighting.
Okay.
And he was like, don't become a firefighter at that time. Like, this was, again, back in like 2010 days. So early 2010s. So, but I guess it comes and goes as far as like, that's like teachers and like all these things where there was a lot of like older people in it.
Yeah.
But I feel like with firefighting, there's a little bit more of a cap on that. Like, you can't really stick around too long, right?
Yeah, like as it stands right now, 60 years old
Okay.
is kind of the threshold where you can't work past that age. Just but there is a variation. Like, some departments are 65, or I think maybe in the States it's a little bit different, but anyways, for the department I'm at, it's 60 years old as we are right now. So you're kind of out the door at that point and into retirement.
Yeah, I guess that helps a little bit, having that. It's such a physical job, and again, your body starts to break down at a certain point.
Yeah, honestly, like, it's impressive. Like, I have a captain right now, and he is a tank. He's just a strong dude, and he's taken really good care of his body physically, and great role model for a crew to have someone. He's just entering his final year in the next couple months, and his strength is right there with the young bucks. So that's kind of the goal, anyways, to end your career strong, or close to as strong as you started, or within a small margin. That would be great.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where it's like, maybe today's technology and all this stuff, and like better health and better diet and like all this stuff is gonna, like, maybe they'll have to eventually raise that final age a little bit,
maybe,
and like allow you to go a little bit longer. Maybe by the time you're there,
who knows? I'm just along for the ride. It's quite the ride, but it's fun.
No doubt. Well, again, it sounds like one of those things where there's like so much work goes into just not only getting the school done and everything, but then also like actually, like, once you're on a squad, then like it's peaks, because like how often do you work a week?
So you work each day of the week through the month. Right. So to say it quickly, my schedule is Monday, or sorry, scratch that. Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday.
Okay.
And then you're off for 5 days.
Right.
And then you work Monday, Thursday.
Sick.
I just worked Monday, so that's why that popped in my head. And then you're off for 7 days after the Thursday shift.
Nice.
And that just repeats. So you kind of know your schedule. It takes a little bit of adjusting to get used to the 24-hour a shift. There's some sleep deprivation and stuff you kind of have to get used to, for sure. But getting there, I'm new. I'm still, a couple years on the truck, so I'm still learning, and try to follow the lead of the guys that have been doing it for a while, and try to take care of myself outside of the job, and keep the diet on point, and be kind to myself, and let myself have a break every once in a while, and stuff like that. So
is it hard with that, like those longer breaks to feel like you can get that routine though with those like
I think so. Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Or do guys figure that out?
The thing is with the break, I find interesting is it's a lot of time. So the first year, I just went to the gym. I was eating clean, everything. I've since kind of picked up a little bit of a side job and stuff like that. But you don't want to fill that time with too much where it starts to accumulate. The burnout starts to accumulate. You do want that time. Right. To recover and get ready so your brain and your body's sharp going back on the trucks once you're back from that 5 and 7 day break. But at the same time, you want to be busy enough where you're still engaged in the world and life, where if you have too much of a break, sometimes you overthink stuff, and it's easier to be at the hall than it is at home doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you can, especially as a young guy, new to the job, there's lots of responsibilities and obligations when you're at the fire hall, and if you start thinking about those obligations when you're at home and you have nothing to do, it can kind of build up in your brain a little bit and cause a little bit of anxious feelings. So it's good to stay busy, but not too busy. I think that's what I'm getting at anyways.
And is it like, I'm sure obviously there's several reasons why that there's usually that much time in between you guys working. Like, obviously you have to like get over the time you're awake, like get to sleep, then recover your body, because like you can go on in as much detail if you want. Like, I'm sure fighting a fire is obviously very physically taxing, and then obviously the mental aspect of it too. Like, is that's all? Like, I'm pretty accurate.
Yeah, I think it's more so to do with the fact that you have a 40-hour work week, and with the 24-hour shift, it kind of just gets spaced out a little bit differently. Yeah. So it just works out that you have these breaks. But at the same time, they're valuable. I find. I know, other first responders are on a 12-hour shift, and I'm not too sure what that experience is like. I know my brother's wife is a police officer, and she seems to be okay with the 12-hour shift, but my experience with the 24-hour shift, it's nice to have a little bit of a reset when, especially if you're at a busy hall or whatever, to kind of get your ducks in a row before you have to kind of do it all over again. So
how often are you like working with the same guys?
So I'm at a 2-truck hall. So there's 2 captains. There's 2 acting captains that they kind of jump into the captain's seat if the captain's on vacation or absent for whatever reason. Okay. And then there's a few firefighters on each truck, and depending on the day, there's mix and matches that happen to make sure that staffing's adequate at your hall. Okay. So yeah, you're working with the same roughly 10 guys, and I would say my hall, it's common to have 4 guys on the pump truck and 3 on the aerial. So if there's extra staff, they might go fill some voids somewhere else in the city, and that's just kind of how that goes. Okay. But yeah, same kind of guys. And then you go to calls in your area, and you see guys from other neighboring halls, and you become kind of friends with those guys as well. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm enjoying it so far, but again, I'm still new, so it's all taking it in stride at this point.
Sure. So do you kind of feel that whole like team camaraderie, and like obviously it's like probably the most team-based career there is, right?
Yeah. Well, arguably, for sure. Like, I can only speak to my experience in the fire department. I haven't been like a professional athlete, but I've played team sports and stuff growing up. I love the team element of it. Like, I feel pretty fortunate. The hall I'm at, we'll cook together. Right. Like, we have one guy who's like a really good chef, and everyone's a solid chef, but one guy, he's passionate about it. Nice. And so we got multiple sous chefs chopping away while he's running the show, and it's fun to get everyone involved. Sure. And then when it's time to work out, we're all lifting weights together and have some pickleball tournaments and you name it. Like, we'll have some downtime before we go to bed and, watch some sports or whatever. But it's, I'm pretty fortunate. I feel like I'm at a really good hall, and the guys that have been on for a long time have given us some, very positive feedback on our current crew, just saying it's probably the best they've had it. So
nice.
I try not to take that lightly. Like,
No
try to enjoy it for what it is right now. It can always change and people get moved around, but I feel very fortunate to be on a crew like that, to learn, especially while I'm young. And
sure,
we're at a busy hall too, so you're constantly learning. There's variables that pop up, and I just try my best to be an asset on the team. And in the fire department, there's if you do make a mistake or something, like you just buy ice cream for the crew, and it remedies the problem, and you try not to do it again. But
right.
It's all a learning experience, the whole process. So
sure. I guess it would be really shitty to have like a bad team. Like, I mean, who is overseeing that? Like the
for
like,
sure,
morale.
Big time.
Is there someone looking into that?
I'm sure that they consider it,
right?
But like I said, I'm still too new to really even comment on that, because I don't know.
Sure.
But the morale, it makes a big difference, because if you're put in a very stressful situation, it's less stressful if you trust the guys beside you and their experience and just their confidence going into it.
Sure.
Can reflect the outcome.
Yeah.
If your captain is very confident and this is what we need to do, boom, 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 it's not a problem. Like that, you can mitigate the issue quite quickly, whether it's a medical emergency or a fire or a rescue or whatever. Having people who are confident and in their training, it's worth a lot. So again, I'm very fortunate to be at a hall where that is the case, and I just try to kind of follow suit the best I can and keep learning and not get complacent. I know it's we're all a victim of it from time to time, but try to stay on top of it.
Well, that's interesting. It's almost like, in some ways, like, I wonder if that time, the way everything has worked out here with like the 24 hours, is like you're there to do the thing, and then like you have time away to like not fall into any real grooves per se. Like you're always going back, and like, because I know like that's always the hardest thing, is like, not being, if you're not doing something every single day, like it might be like different, but when you're in your station, that's like what you're doing that whole fucking day basically. It's just like it's completely like you're gonna fall into your training, you're gonna fall into all that stuff, and like it allows you to stay on top of it, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's a moving target. You
Sure.
just stay light on your feet and go in the direction that the captain points you, and whether you're getting shipped out to another hall for staffing reasons or whatever, you're just boots on the ground kind of guy, and try to make the most of each situation you get put in, because it's constantly changing, and you're always in different environments, different people's homes, and at the end of the day, like, people are having often bad days, some of the worst days of their life. So try to be cognizant of that, and be as helpful as you can with that in mind. But at the same time, you have to kind of switch it off and have fun with the guys, and have a good barbecue or whatever the case may be, to kind of balance that out. So
sure. Do you, when you said you run into like other stations like on calls and stuff, like you guys are usually cool with them and stuff?
Oh yeah. Especially the guys who are surrounding your station, you see them all the time. You go to alarm bells calls and stuff like that, and multiple trucks will show up, and familiar faces, and you become friends with those guys too. And sometimes you'll get shipped out to their hall if someone's on vacation or this, not the other thing. And yeah, for sure. It's pretty cool to be working with a group of people that have been distilled down through that process. Like we were talking about earlier, it's a pretty rigorous process to get in. So if you made it through, good for you. It's a pleasure to work with the guys that have the grit to get through the process. And I don't know, it speaks for itself. There's lots of really strong characters on the job, and it's a pleasure to work with those types of people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that like you said, that speaks volumes that you guys have been through the same kind of process. Like, again, you went. I know you said you played team sports and stuff. Like you played football in high school. What else? Did you play any basketball in high school, like officially?
No, rugby.
Okay. Rugby.
I skied. Nice. I did the skiing.
And then skiing was like your highest level. Yeah. And then once you're in those elite levels, it's kind of almost that same thing too, where you're like, I know everyone I'm like surrounded by. I want to ask you though, like, again, what's different between an individual sport? Because I threw the shot put in high school. That's it. And like, I ended up fucking overachieving, and like I went to like saucy, like above, like whatever, like this. But right before OFSA, there was like G-Hack, saucy, and then anyway. And once I was at that level, it was like guys were fucking mad serious. They had like proper footwear. They were wearing bibs from like cross country clubs, or sorry, not cross country, fucking track and field clubs. I was like, I'm out of my fucking element. But again, once you're up at those higher levels, you start to look around you and go like, okay, there's like some like legit people. And then I knew from basketball, once you got to those higher levels, and football obviously, everyone you were with was like legit, like they're vetted. You're not like, oh, can this fucking guy play fucking basketball? Like, you're not worried about that much. But anyway, as an individual sport athlete, like how was that kind of different? Like, I guess being in, like, do you see any of that? I don't know. I guess
the crossover. Like, how does it? For sure.
The training and stuff.
I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, like at the end of the day, with an individual sport, you're on your own, so the outcome's up to you. So the way I kind of thought about it over the years, being on like team sports, doing individual sports, is the preparation that it takes to be successful in an individual sport. You're a little bit more aware of what it takes to be good at whatever the task is. And that could only benefit you as a teammate. So if your whole team's training for a common goal, what is your role in that team? And what can you do to elevate yourself to be a better teammate? And what work do you have to do individually to make that happen? Whatever that role may be, whether you're a facilitator or you're a star or whatever the case may be, how can you, chameleon into that role and be as good as you possibly can at that particular thing? Which I think, is that kind of what you're asking?
No, I like, again, that's the thing where it's like, I think individual sports will help you in so many ways, as far as make your own goals, putting yourself in situations where you're the main motivator, all these different things. It's just I was just interested in how that integrates into like more of this team atmosphere, and I think you hit it right on the head. I just didn't articulate it quite as well until now. But that's the thing, is like, and where it does kind of speak to football too. Like, football is always one of those interesting sports where it really is, in Canadian football anyway, 12 guys on the field doing 12 different things all at once. That all make the difference. And like, yes, it is up to you at the end of the day to obviously be, part of the team and know the plays and do all that other shit, but you also have to be like in this good shape. And at the end of the day, no one else is really doing that other than you. But
yeah, for sure. And I think like there's a balance too of being selfless and knowing, when to pass the puck or when to take the shot yourself. Right. Be selfish in the moment if the situation demands that, and being light on your feet and adaptable to be a good teammate. I think that's what kind of makes a good athlete at the end of the day. If you can make those decisions on the fly when split seconds matter, that's what separates like the guys who are professional athletes from amateurs in a lot of ways.
It's so true. That's like playing without the ball or whatever, right? Like is so important. And again, it's like I think at least it sounds like anyway that like do guys specialize pretty quickly? Like how do you guys sink into your roles, or is someone kind of doing something
in the fire
different?
department
in like if you're on a call kind of thing, or in the department itself or at your station, do you kind of settle into roles that are open? Are you kind of recruited to certain stations because of your skills, like certain stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's definitely like specialty hauls, squad trucks, rescue trucks that do like water rescue, or my haul has a platform aerial truck, so it's a little bit different than a regular aerial. You can actually ride 2 firefighters up on a platform and control it from the platform. It's a little bit of a specialty truck. It's pretty cool.
Did you get up there?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like a little
good
water
view.
Cannon
yeah, it's a 100-foot ladder, and you can flow like over 4,000 liters a minute of water out the top of that thing. So, but yeah, like I think when you're in recruitment, I don't know exactly how it all goes.
That seems interesting.
But they kind of determine where you might be a good fit, like your personality, your skill set. Okay, this guy, he's just strong all around. Maybe he might fit in this very strong rescue crew or something like that. Or there's a bunch of young guys over here that everyone's really engaged. This guy seems pretty engaged. He's pretty strong. Maybe he'll grow really well here. And that's my guess of how it works. Again, I'm guessing.
Sure.
That's what,
must be happening.
My opinion of what's kind of going on seems to be the case, but
there must be some type of oversight, right? Like there must be some type of like whatever association or like overseeing, because there has to I feel like because that might be difficult, especially when you're a new recruit or even just someone transferring station to station. You don't want to show up with this skill set that is already taken. Again, I'm just thinking of other teams I've been on.
Yeah, it's
always tough to or unless you have another skill set to fall back on, or willing to learn a different thing, right? Because I think that's always the hardest part is like you got to stay dynamic, I'm sure, but if you have a skill set, you're better off being used for your best skill.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, there's strategic stations placed around a city, so even if you have a skill set that's kind of not being specialized on your crew, you still have that skill set, and it may be valuable in certain situations wherever you end up. So I think making the most of whatever your situation is like a pretty good outlook to have in the fire department, because it's a moving target. You're just along for the ride, and you don't know where you're going to end up. So try to just be strong with whatever situation you get put in, and take a deep breath and move efficiently, and that's all you can really do. Fall back on your training, but once it's an emergency scene, it kind of changes. Like you have to adapt and work with what you got sometimes. So that's what makes it exciting, and that's what drew me to the job at the end of the day. I kind of like that the unknown, and dip your toe in the unknown from time to time, and that's what the fire service is in a lot of ways. There is a lot of things you can control, but not always, and you have to kind of make it work with what you got sometimes. And
100%.
That's kind of exciting.
Is there like a SWAT team for firefighters? Is there like a super mega fucking ultra elite squad? Or it just depends on
not
like
necessarily.
If you're like in a big city.
Like maybe some departments.
Like FDNY have like some crazy motherfuckers or some shit.
There's definitely guys that have like they're specifically trained in like heavy rescue, which is pretty cool. they have like all the ropes and high angle stuff, and it's pretty heavy duty struts. Like if there's, you know, a truck hanging off the side of a bridge, like they can help you out kind of thing, which is super cool.
Right. They're like rappelling and shit.
Yeah, big time. And like the aerial truck at my station, the heavy rescue will actually hook their ropes up to our bucket from time to time if on a construction site if needed or whatever. So it's pretty cool, like how different halls will work together with the resources they can bring to the table.
That's super cool.
When needed.
Yeah.
And you're not necessarily training with that crew for that particular situation, but they know what you have, and they'll special you in if they know that truck can be helpful in this situation.
Like, yo, this station has this thing.
Yep.
Yo, call them in.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's in a matter of minutes, you can be all set up and working towards a common goal. It's pretty exciting. And that's like, honestly, that's what I love about it, to be honest. It's just like, you're all focused on a very similar task, and everyone's trying to help, you know, and sure, like people can step on toes and stuff like that, trying to get to that common goal. But at the end of the day, like everyone has good intentions, and it's pretty cool to be a part of it all.
And there's a hierarchy to I'm sure, like keep that in check mostly though too, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. Just like your captain's kind of running the show for your truck. And then like a DC, like a district chief, will show up to more significant calls, and he'll take command and stuff like that. So there's definitely a hierarchy, and then there's the experience level. Like I'm being 2 years on the trucks, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. So they point and I go, kind of thing, whatever the case, whether I'm pulling a line off the truck or grabbing a tool, like I kind of have to know what's going to be helpful for what they want me to do, and I grab my tools and I go.
Right.
So you try to grab the right tool when you need to grab the water can or whatever, because time does kind of come into play a little bit. But that's it. You try your best. Like it's a moving target, so it's the experience definitely, I can see, becomes very valuable as you get on in your career.
Yeah, for sure. You'll start to read moments and know right away, and have more of a feeling for things. Oh yeah,
and like the first, like when you first get out of recruitment, the first few fire calls and stuff like that, like your heart's beating through your throat, and it's pretty interesting how, you know, the human body gets used to that.
Right.
And now the tones go off, and you just listen to the details and the updates, and your heart doesn't start racing because you've done it before and you've seen similar kind of scenarios. But the first couple dozen calls are pretty interesting.
I bet. Oh man, yeah, forget about it.
3 a.m. just pinning it down the road, and like you've never been in that situation before. It's
a lot of firsts.
Yeah, there still is a lot of firsts, and yeah, I'm 2 years on at a busy haul, so
sure.
You just
and like, unfortunately, you're not always like, it's not always just fires. You're going to, obviously, for anyone who doesn't know that already, I feel like that's pretty common knowledge now. Firefighters seem to be the first of the first responders to show up, right?
I think it depends. Yes, in a lot of cases, we're kind of just waiting at the station to come help for whatever, if it's a rescue, like a car accident or medical emergency. We're kind of on deck, ready to be deployed at any moment for whatever may come up. But at the same time, if it's like a crime-related emergency, we'll kind of stage nearby and let the police do their thing before we advance forward.
Sure.
Or if a medic just happens to be very close to a call they've been dispatched to, like they may be ahead of you. So it all depends, and it's pretty cool to work with the different emergency services to achieve a common goal once again. So it's just a big team, and it's exciting. And it's cool to like get to wake up with a purpose. Like I don't know, it's funny to say, but we all in our early 20s are trying to look for a purpose or whatever, and I'd say for me anyways, my experience, once I got on the fire department, I didn't have to worry about that anymore. You have a purpose, you can just relax and live your life now.
Sure.
You get to help people.
Yeah.
Great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, you're locked in.
Yeah.
That's that's so great. And I mean, again, that's like, I think the cool thing about that I've always seen, especially about firefighting, is that kind of team aspect and that hierarchy. And like, you always see that in sports too, where you have a coach and like a trainer and all these different things, and that's all good. But like, as I mentioned before, Adam, for all of our listeners, Adam and I have played in all these bands, and a band is also a team. And there's so many I've always mentioned that I find like music is so much like team sports, right?
Yeah.
Except we don't really have a coach.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I guess when you do an album, you have a producer who in that like temporary time, they're like your coach.
Yeah.
But like, and then games, I guess, would be like shows, and then you have like bigger shows which are closer to like championship games, and like there's all these different things, right?
Yeah.
It's obviously can go on more and more. It's not like you have like seasons per se when it comes to sports. Although with like stuff like the Grammys and the Junos, you could look at it like seasons. Like every year is another season, and you're like trying to be the best band.
Yeah.
And you could win an award that tells you are the best band.
For sure. Yeah. There's a structure. It seems like every kind of facet of life that people pursue careers in, there's a structure. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, kind of what you're kind of getting at anyways.
Yeah.
There's teams, whether it's team sports or firefighting or music or the arts, and individual versus team, like there's always a structure that people are trying to work within, or
for sure.
There's boundaries, and there's things you can do, things you can't do to kind of get to the goal you're after.
And then on top of that too, it's like I find with music, it's a little bit more like you're kind of like, we've all put this like on top of that, because like music is such a weird thing where as an art form, like it exists completely separate to like the music industry and music business, which again, we had to fucking deal with some of the bullshit that exists in that in so many different ways. But like, again, it was like when you choose to do it, like you get to do so much more, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you kind of get to impose some of those goals and impose some of those like checkpoints and stuff too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's always weird, right, with music, like when it comes to awards, right? Because it's kind of like there's like when Eddie Vedder won, when Pearl Jam, I should say, won I think album of the year, and Eddie Vedder was up there and was like, what does a Grammy even mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, art is subjective. Like you can't make it objective by being like it's objectively the best album of the year, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I kind of get that too, right?
Yep.
So it's totally strange thing. But again, it's always cool when you get to like choose your own destiny a little bit with music. Obviously, it's always a roll of the dice. You never know what's going to happen or what's going to happen in the future or whatever. But like, it's always like you got to just kind of do it kind of thing. And we did. We gave it a shot. Again, for everyone who's listening, for anyone who doesn't know, we first met through music. 100%. Like if it wasn't for our band, so I met Adam through our buddy Luke. I used to work with Luke at Coca-Cola. Shout out Coca-Cola. Little small little business, little mom and pop soda shop called Coca-Cola. Anyway, it was so funny. Like the first summer, it was just a summer job while we were on university. Adam and Luke went, I don't know, I guess not like telling too much, but you guys went to University of Guelph while I was at Western. I'm older than these kids, so I was finished earlier. But before that, the summer job before, so I think it was the summer before I graduated, then you guys had like another year after that. Anyway, I was working with Luke, and we were fucking working the whole year, like the whole summer. It felt like the whole summer. And like we were always talking about like, oh, like we learned pretty early. I knew that Luke was a drummer pretty early. Like somehow him and I got to talking about whatever. Like we had like, there was always music playing at fucking Coke.
He was a big finger drummer too.
Oh, so he would just be playing, just nonstop. Like, I mean, me and then I had my other buddy Mark was there too.
Yeah.
All like kind of start. Oh, and then Luke's cousin was there too. Aiden, yeah. Right? Yeah. So the four of us kind of got together pretty quickly because we were all like around the same age and like on the same wavelength pretty much, because there was some fucking cretins who were working there, right? So it was just like, okay, you guys can go fucking do your thing. Like there was some fucking degens and like some guys that were like prime lifers, like they were just like young and getting into it, and their dad used to work there and shit like that. But like they're probably still, if they're not still there, I'd be so fucking surprised
for sure. Yeah.
Anyway, honestly, like if I had no other no other real goals in life, I was there too. If I stuck around, I could be still fucking that. Like once you're in you don't like miss any days and you do all the bullshit of like a temp to the prime to the part-time to the full-time, once you get to the full-time, like you're in, like it's fucked. There's like Dees Bennies and shit. Again, they're fucking soulless corporations, so they got like fucking mad dough. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, the four of us got together, so we'd always be chatting and shit at lunch, and then like they loved playing Y108. So obviously Coca-Cola being in Hamilton, playing at Hamilton Station was classic, and they would always play Y108. And you know how Y108 is, it's rock, classic rock, yes, but it's different than like Q107 in Toronto. That was more like total classic rock. They played Canadian content and stuff, but I always found Y108 always like got more into that jock rock shit and like Creed, and like you just kind of knew if you could just listen.
There's some Pearl Jam in the mix, the Trues, that kind of stuff.
That stuff, but it was like definitely more like alternative, rocky, between what the Edge used to be and Q&A. Anyway, these are all radio stations. For anyone listening doesn't know what we're talking about, these are all radio stations that still exist, but they've all kind of changed quite a bit. Like I don't know if you've noticed, the Edge plays like all types of shit. They'll play like classic rock basically now. And then Q107 is all over the map too with what they play. It's definitely not just classic rock anymore. Anyway, I digress again. So Luke and I would always be talking about this, listening to music, blah blah blah, talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I used to play like in jazz band and had a band in university. Like I did try, and then literally it was like the last week before we went back to university that year, we actually got together and played in Luke's parents' basement and actually jammed. It was great.
It went well.
And it was like, this is so much fun. All right, see ya for like a year because we got to go back to school. We'll
put a pin in it for a year.
And it was just the three of us, bass, guitar, Adam plays guitar, and Luke on drums. And it was like power trio, man. Like it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
We called ourselves Kids with Guns for a second. Which ruffled some feathers.
We were unhinged.
People thought we were like, so what was the first show? Was at Corktown with Matt Bonjay's band, right? Yeah. And they were like, Matt, like I saw him at fucking homegrown, whatever the fuck that was called, on King William, remember? What the fuck was it called? Homegrown something. Homegrown cafe or some shit like that. Anyway,
like a little venue or something.
It was like a small little venue where bands played, and there was like always open mics and shit there. And I saw Matt, and he's like, I was like, oh yeah, I've been like jamming with these guys, super fun. He's like, oh, do you guys want to play a show? Like, do you guys want to play a show with us
in like 5 days?
In 5 days. And I was like, yes. So then I went back to these guys, and I was like, yo, I got a show for us in 5 days. Do you think we can play? And we didn't we had been jamming. So this was okay. So we had met as the first time the summer before. This is now the following summer. Yeah. So we had been jamming at this point for a bit. Like we still kept in touch, and as soon as we all came back for the summer, we started getting back together and started to actually jam. And so it wasn't like we had never played. Yeah. But we had never really played.
We were all pretty eager and motivated to kind of get after it.
And literally every day it was like every day for that 5 days we got together every night. Yeah. And like we were,
I seem to remember the day of the show, I put a box staple through my finger.
That was that show.
And then I super glued my finger. So
like guys, like we're all working like pretty fucking like decent jobs, like
labor jobs,
like laborious jobs. I think by that time I was already at that following summer I was doing the fucking steel yard shit.
Yeah.
And then Luke was still at Coke.
I was grave digging.
And then you were digging graves. And then put a staple through the fingy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we rocked that. So then it was the three of us. But you and I were both kind of sharing singing duties. Oh, yeah. And I think we played 5 songs. We did All on the Watchtower. That was a good one. We did Hey Joe. Did a couple of Jimi Hendrix songs.
A little Jack Johnson in the mix.
Yeah, we definitely did Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
That was unreal.
Ozzy? Did we do an Ozzy?
No, we did Cortez, I think.
Cortez, yeah.
For sure we did Cortez, because I was insistent. Because it's a great jam tune.
Yeah.
And then, no, not Ozzy. It was something in that fucking vein, though. Because then, remember, you and I did a couple, like, duo shits. Like, we played the Dickens and shit.
Yeah.
We played, like, Incubus.
Yeah, Incubus.
So
we
hard.
Did we All Along the Watchtower again?
We did then an acoustic version too, and then Taylor as well.
That was good.
So I think that must have been after. But anyway, and we fucking ripped. But like Adam and I shared the singing duties, and at one point we're like, this is super fun, but we both want to like get better at our instrument.
Yeah.
And it's hard to sing and play at the same time, and we didn't feel like we were good enough at our instrument to do both.
Oh yeah, and I can't remember words for shit, so I'd have to like study lyrics.
Right.
I hear the guitar part, I could learn the guitar part no problem, but stringing the words together with the guitar was a whole nother ball game.
That's a different peace pipe.
Backup singer at best.
Well, I mean, again, I wonder if we gave it another shot now, how that would go, because I definitely have learned a lot more to sing and play bass at the same time, because that was definitely difficult. Like when we were first starting, it's just like so weird, but it just is. It's also different when you're writing the music, because you're gonna write it. Like certain songs are gonna be hard to perform because the fucking bass player, like Flea is not the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If I had to sing Anthony Kiedis' part and play Flea's bass, I'd probably die.
Yeah.
But like if we wrote it for that like exact reason, we'd obviously write it in a way that it was possible to sing and play. So that always comes into the mix. But
that's what's so cool about music too, is like everyone kind of plays to their ability level, and that almost is what creates your style. Like you have your interest, like, you know, for myself, like blues guitar, some rock guitar, like the Chili Peppers, like Jack Johnson. I like, you know, Bob Marley. You take all these influences and then you take your best swing at them, and then that's your style.
100%. Well, that's kind of like what John Mayer says too. Like it's all just like bad impressions of like the greatest guys ever.
Unreal though. I love that.
Or like the way that you distill it. Yeah, I've always said that about like Reckless Harbor, is that we're all just like have such eclectic backgrounds that what it distills down to is like in a folk package, but like different vibrations. I think that happens in every band, and the only way to really make that happen is to shine. I think a lot of people try to be like, I want to sound like a certain band, or I'm going for like a very certain sound, and if you are, I think you're already lost. Like,
well, your sound is
gonna happen.
You could try.
Can try, but your sound is gonna happen naturally based off your own skill. And yes, probably like deep into your career, you're gonna have to be like, we have to make this still sound like this band. Like, I wonder, because like fucking the Stones are putting out an album this year, eh?
Yeah, really? Yeah,
dude,
cool.
They're like 80. So like I'm sure, and don't get me wrong, they've set themselves up since day one to be like, we're the Rolling Stones, we're gonna put out any kind of music. Like, it's the Rolling Stones, but it might be blues, it might be R&B, it might be country, it might be some fucking crazy rockabilly shit. But like still being like, or like if you're like AC/DC, like do you think that anyone in AC/DC like in the band ever came to them with like some ballad? Like some kind of slow shit, like
it's not gonna work.
They're gonna be like, nah, B. Brian Johnson's like, fuck you, mate. Like, get that shit out of my face.
Honestly, though,
so I wonder.
That was cool though when we were doing the band thing. I think we were on a pretty cool path when we were always trying to get quote unquote lost in the sauce. Like, we wanted to find like that kind of axis that we were always talking about, like you're almost harnessing the lightning a little bit.
Glenn out a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do.
You're trying to play something that doesn't exist in the moment and just kind of teetering on improvisation, but it's also locked in and you're in the pocket. Everything's good. That was a cool pursuit to in my opinion. I enjoyed that kind of approach to music.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you have a structured song, you could repeat it perfectly over and over and over. That wasn't really our bit.
No, it would be like in this section, just like figure it out.
Yeah.
Like find out what happens here.
Luke, we're going to follow you. If you're going slow, we're going slow.
We're going mad slow. And we're just going to, just count it out.
Yeah.
We're going to lose it.
Yeah.
You just give us the signal.
Ride the tiger.
Because we need help.
Yeah.
We're going to be lost. We're going to go out for a spacewalk.
That was fun, man. I still like
the ISS. He's the International Space Station, and we're on a fucking spacewalk.
Yeah, wherever we're going together.
We're going to the final frontier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's all you can do, I think, as a musician is be yourself in that way, which is like, all right, yeah, okay. That's like the weirdest advice when someone's like, be yourself, but it's like, no one else is probably like you, man. Like in reality, I mean, like, yeah, obviously people are influenced and I think I think it's like half the time, I think it's unfortunate when certain artists sound like other artists.
Yeah.
I think, there's influence and like maybe that was like early in their career, they tried to emulate someone, but like realistically, like, if that's the best you sound and you sound exactly like someone else, like that's too bad because that's just the way it is. There can only be one of those people.
Yeah, and everyone's like their hardest critic on themselves. They're worried about what other people think, but at the end of the day, no one cares.
Well, and as I'm saying that too, and hearing you say that, it's also like there's like so many bands that sound similar.
For sure.
Like realistically.
And sometimes that's great.
Yeah, and that's all good.
Yeah, you find a band that sounds similar to a band that you love.
You're probably also gonna like that band.
And they have a couple cool tracks that are different than something you've heard from that other band. You're gonna be all over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's always the weirdest thing. I mean, even today, like, you know, there used to be a lot more of like a direct route of success, if you will, whatever success is. I don't know how that's a weird thing to say with music these days, but to be like a band that's gonna like make like financial success at least.
Yeah.
There used to be like a little bit more of like a straightforward route, right? Like there was a record label that hopefully you could start as a band, write enough music that someone would notice you, you'd sign a deal for X amount of dollars, and you could like walk away. And like, honest to God, man, like if we were in the 70s and all those bands were coming up, all that shit, and we were doing our thing and we could have made it work the way we did, because we've actually recorded music that is out there, so that's like success as a band. Like it is out there under a fucking different name, but we are technically out in the ether
for sure
of streaming. There is music that we have played together that is out there anyway. If we were able to do that in the 70s, guaranteed we could have walked away with like however much money they would have given us for an album, and like maybe did a tour. And like if it all worked out, like maybe spent like 3 to 5 years doing it, and you walk away with, I actually have no idea what the number would be. I'm totally spitballing at the number, but enough money to like start a business with. Like you could walk away from that and be like, yeah, I started this business with this nest egg that I got from being a musician because it was super fun. Like almost like sports and like,
well,
just
that's
like
the thing.
Cash in.
Who's
and
to
like
say you never pick it back up later?
Oh, no.
Like I'm not convinced that we're not going to play in another band at some point. Like
you heard it here first on the Bigmark podcast.
There's always, like, we did the little main stage thing. It's just time and a place.
Super sick.
It was fun, man. Like, and I think we all loved being musicians together.
Yeah.
But life goes down different paths and whatever, and you have to ride it for where you are. But
for sure.
I would love to play music with the crew again.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting. Like you say, life goes in different directions, and I've mentioned it. I think in some way, shape, or form on the podcast before. Like being in a band, with anyone, especially like, I mean, realistically, you can't really call, I guess you could call a solo act a band because they usually have musicians behind them, but a duo is like legit like a relationship. But like 3, 4, 5, 6, however many people are in a band, it's like it's like that way marriage. There's 4 people in the band. It's like a 4-way relationship in the weirdest way, where it's like, it's not just a business because you're like a creation, but it is like a small business because if you actually want to like do it, there's like, and then there's money involved. There is money involved if you actually want to play shows. So like, it's a legit business, but then each one of you are like doing something different in the band, yet a completely integral part of the band. Like, it's like there's like the most tangled web you can possibly weave, and let alone like the timing of life. We were unfortunate not only for many reasons. I mean, like, I know Katie's voice was going, and I know COVID was happening, and like Luke was getting married and like starting to have kids, and like all these things were happening all at once. It's just like fucking sounds like Bryan Adams' song. Yeah. But it's like COVID was Brutes Magoots for many bands, but like ultimately put us in a different mindset, I think, as far as like, let's just keep this going, because it wasn't, like I said, it's not the 70s where it wasn't any guarantee. We were looking for more like guarantees in life, and it was because it was a fucking stressful ass time.
For sure. A little bit of stability was kind of,
well, again, like spending, and not to say that we were putting any eggs in that basket financially. At least everyone was working on their career, or like, I mean, I know Katie, you both had to go back to school, but everyone did have a job at the time. So it wasn't like we were like, music has to be like her own career. But then Katie was in the restaurant industry, and that was getting fucked, and we didn't know how that was going to shake out. Yeah, that eventually shook out okay, but they still got most fucked. Like, it's like, I look back on it because obviously I was adjacent to it, was selling beer to these places. I get why the restaurant industry got so fucked, because they're like already beholden to so many rules, and like health department and all these people already in their fucking grill. And it is a route to transfer because someone is handling food and then giving it to someone else. But I still look back on that as like, that was a mistake, man. That was a mistake. Going after all these places where people gather and do all that stuff. Like, yeah, of course, I get it. Like,
yeah,
it's a place where people gather, but like there were so many other things like industry and all these things, and we start to get into this whole other conversation of like, I can't put, if I put myself back into that situation, I didn't see any real other alternative, unfortunately.
For sure. But, and I mean, COVID too was like a blessing in disguise for a lot of people. Like, it forced you to make some tough decisions that maybe you would have not made if circumstances didn't force you to. And so, I mean, for me, I'm happy with the way it went for me. I just would also like to kind of get back to some things I was doing before a little bit.
And that's what you said too, like when the decision was made too, it's not like you didn't say like it's done.
Yeah, no. And golf, like I put the golf thing, we were golfing quite a bit for a while there.
We were, true.
It'd be nice to kind of get some rounds in. And
bro, I stink.
No,
honestly, like consistency is hardest with golf. I find like it's a sport where it's like you kind of have to play all the fucking time to like actually get good at it.
It's such a mental game. It's crazy. Like,
mad mental.
Like, it is wild how the difference between, putting up an 80 and a 90 is whether you freak out if you have a bad hole,
It can make the difference.
I think it is the difference in a lot of ways. Like, if you have a blow up hole and then you carry that into the next hole and you make a bad decision, you're trying to make up for something you know what I mean? You're trying to claw back a birdie or something. It's not going to go the way you want it to.
No.
But if you just put it somewhere safe with a shot that you could do fairly consistently and get in for a par, like, you can shave a lot of strokes off around that way.
Yeah, there's not a lot of players that are able to really like play like true recovery golf. I mean, and most of them are professional golfers,
And
right?
even
like,
them, they'll blow it up too. Like sometimes, like you're better off just to keep it simple.
I've noticed that a lot too. Like, I mean, I haven't played a lot of rounds this year, but even just like over last year as well. Just like, not necessarily just playing it safe. Like I still think you have to play your game, but like strategy is so key.
Yeah.
Like thinking shots ahead.
Yeah.
But then also being able to really focus like in the moment. Again, like you said, it's just like such a mental game.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Are you a music and golf guy? Like, will you listen to music?
I don't actually usually.
Yeah. I know it's fun every once in a while, but
it's fun like with the boys if you're dicking around.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've noticed, unfortunately, when it comes to golf, if I'm not like really focused at it, I'm not going to play very well, and that's way more distracting than fucking music.
Yeah.
So like,
I'll even avoid like having a beer on the course too. Like if I'm actually trying to post a score.
I know. I really appreciate the sport of it. That's the problem with golf. I find not the problem, but that's one thing that I've noticed about golf is like it does have those like other facets to it that other sports don't have. Like yeah, there's beer leagues for most sports, but realistically, like there's no other sport where you're getting shittered while playing it.
Yeah.
Like golf, you can get fucking banged up playing, right? Like obviously,
guys fist fighting on the course.
Guys do crazy shit. Yeah. They're doing blow. They're doing craziness. But
what's wrong with us?
Just insane. Like literally, guys kicking each other in the head, but like hitting at people with fucking clubs.
Yeah.
But
driving the ball at someone's. You know,
dude. Oh my god! Like taking early swings. Just like meeting. Oh my god! People running back from the hole.
We're our own worst enemies.
Oh, it's the worst. 100%. So you can get mangled on the course. You can also like go out there and like it's like a country club and there's business happening on the course and you're like signing deals and
sweet nature,
doing crazy like shit. Nature's around, unreal. Animals and then there's like the sport of golf, which I've always appreciated most. I think is like I really understand or not understand because that's not true, but I appreciate the athletic aspect of golf because it is like different, and that's not necessarily I mean like you have to be fit. I just mean like the swing and like different aspects and like there's so many. It's like there's so many different
consistently
shots.
It's and definitely like athletic.
And you can be a motherfucking sick guy on the range, but like it's so different on the course. Like every time that ball lands, it's gonna be in a different fucking place. Like, even if you play the same course over and over again, which would be sick. Like I do wish that I don't know if you ever got it back in the day, but for everyone listening here in Hamilton, there are 2 municipal courses, technically 3 18s because Shadok has 2 18s and then King's Forest is 1. And there used to be like city pass. Do you remember there was like a city membership? Municipal like golf membership, and you're able to play King's Forest, Shadok, and Martin and Badeau. And that would have been sick. And I think it was like $500 or something. It was like ridiculous. It was like something stupid.
I did just the Shadok one when I was younger.
And that they don't think they have any memberships there anymore. I'm not sure if they do.
I'm sure they have something.
Something?
Yeah, like a junior membership or something.
Maybe. Or like
I know it's like a lottery.
Pass.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lottery. I think you apply for it and maybe you get it, maybe you don't. And then once they offer it to you, then you have to pay the whatever.
Yeah. Because that would be fun to like play the same course over and over, and like, I mean, that's kind of happened at this point in living in Hamilton. I played the same places, but like really go back to the same place, and like really get used to it, and then try to like, but then all of a sudden you play a new course and you're like, what the fuck?
No, honestly, I'm hooked on golf. Like, especially with like when I went to Guelph, I did the whole landscape architecture thing.
Sure.
So you walk the course and you can see all that. It kind of ticks that box. There's the
Cutting?
Yeah. Well, just like the design of the course.
Yeah, like that's like right across from Guelph, right? Is Cutting Fields? That's the course, right?
Oh, is it?
I think.
Okay, I've never played it. I played like Victoria Park.
Cutting Fields.
Okay.
Like, did they take you there?
No, we didn't design any courses, but I always appreciated it.
I know what you mean. Okay, I see what you're saying.
And then like there's like the athletic element and
sure,
the like, you know, in today's world, like I know I'm as bad as the next guy of flicking through my phone like an idiot. And so it's nice to hit the course where you have 18 holes of no phone minus a little GPS or like whatever you got going on.
100%. It can be very peaceful.
It's great. And even like the firefighting to golf, it's like it's a wonderful sport for a little reset. And have you done the sim stuff to get all the clubs locked in with AI? I basically I took like a
fitting
basically, but I just used AI. I did like a few shots with each club, and it gave me my distances, helped me gap them,
right,
and it tells you your carry, your rollout, and it built me like a little graph. So when I'm on the course, I can see how far I am from the hole,
right.
And I want like 3 yards of rollout. This club will go this far and roll this far.
That's huge.
It's literally, it makes it way more fun.
Right.
For me, whether it's cheating or not, it's not for me to decide. I do it. But
if it makes it easier, honestly, like golf is one of those things where it's like, there's very few sports where there is like improvement equipment. Like in other sports, like there's not a lot of things you can use that's going to make your game better. But like in golf, I kind of totally understand. Like, cause like if you're really bad, like you're fucked. So like,
it's so hard to watch someone make the same mistakes over and over, and they're not willing to take a couple lessons.
Well, that's right. Like, 100%. I think,
and they're so frustrated, and no one wants to hear critique from their buddy about anything. It's like you just have to let them ride and raw dog it through the course. But at the same time, like a couple lessons goes a long way just to build like a foundation.
100%. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think unless you started really young and it was in like a little camp or something, or like your parents played and you got like a junior membership or something, most people have like taught themselves how to play golf.
Yep.
Like you buy the clubs, you fucking guess, to be truthfully honest, if you're right or left-handed. Because I've heard that a lot about people who are like, you actually should be, you're playing golf with the wrong hand. Like, could you imagine? I feel like I'm far too into it to switch.
Yeah.
Because like in hockey, I'm left-handed, but in golf I'm right-handed.
I think that's pretty normal.
That's normal, but like that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm right in everything.
Right.
It throws me off. I don't understand how.
And then, but I know people who are left in everything, and they're like, oh, I don't understand how you're a fucking switch motherfucker too.
Yeah, no.
So
people's brains are wild.
But I never actually played hockey either. Like I played like fucking street hockey goalie.
Yeah.
Like I never actually played hockey, so who knows there. Never really.
Or people hit a baseball bat left and then they golf right. It's like that to me. That doesn't add.
That's like kind of the same thing with like
yeah.
But that's what I mean. So there might be some credence behind, because like there's not a lot of left-handed golf sets. Or sorry, there's more right-handed golf sets than there is left-handed. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but that's just the way it is. So a lot of people, when they get clubs and they first start golfing, they just happen to be right.
Yeah.
So then you learn right.
I guess that's how it goes. It's just whatever you started with, you might just kind of get used to it. But
I think that's what it is. But either way, you learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I totally taught myself, and because I had never had any of those other stick sports, I always felt like way out of like a fish out of water, big time. Yeah. So I'm.
You've locked it in though.
Like I know how to like swing
what,
it.
5 years in golf?
Probably 6 now.
6?
I want to say.
You were smoking them last year though.
Maybe 7, because 2019 was my buddy. What I would say my official first year of golf, because that was my buddy's wedding, or his bachelor party, I should say.
You learned really quickly, I have to say. Like I golfed with Luke a lot.
Right.
Growing up, Luke was always just a nasty golfer. It was kind of annoying, to be honest, because we were super competitive. And but he was always just clutch. Like always just locked in. Wouldn't make too many like unforced errors. And it was frustrating. Because I was always like nipping at his heels.
Yeah.
But you learned really quickly, especially for like a tall guy. You're pretty athletic, I'll give you that.
I appreciate that. Hey, I know you guys have always said that, and yeah, I mean, I think that's always
light on your feet for a big dude.
Oh, you know it, and I think that's always the thing that will help me, is that I am coachable, and why I haven't got a lesson, I don't really know at this point. I need to, because of that, because I've like listen to friends. And I know you said like some people aren't too good hearing things, but like I am pretty good. And like I was super fortunate that when I first started playing, my one buddy I went out with all the time, because we both worked at we both were bartending at John and Ed's, so we had like the same schedule, and we'd go golf like before our shift. He was like the last cut. I don't know what the fuck that means, but like he almost made the golf team at Mac.
Yeah.
So like he's obviously sick. I don't know why he didn't make the team, because he should, but anyway, he was really good. So I went out for like quite a few rounds with him, and he was like really good at like teaching pretty basic shit, but also just being like, I'd say the biggest takeaways I had from him was just more about like how to play a round of golf.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like technique and stuff. He was always like if I hit some ridiculous goofy shot, he'd just be like, all right, let's just like go drop up there. He was never like hit another one and like waste time. He was really good about like keeping flow going, and that always eased my mind, because I always hated like and still do like hate like having someone like play like they're like close behind, or like the whole fucking course is like backed up and like people are on your ass and shit. I hate that.
I feel like golf's one of those sports, it's like a 1,000-piece puzzle.
Sure.
You put like a couple skills in place and none of them connect.
Right.
And it takes time.
Yeah.
All of a sudden there's a little section that's like, oh, that kind of comes together a little bit. I think it takes years before you've got a full puzzle.
And there's like a lot of aha moments that happen, but that's definitely what I appreciate about golf too, is like seems like, well, as long as for how long you can in life swing the clubs, a lifelong pursuit.
Oh yeah. And it's so good for like I learned when I was, I want to say sub 3 years old, maybe 3 years old, with my
like
grandfather. And he bought me like this little driver in a bag, and we'd go to the range, and he showed me how to like interlock my fingers when I was like a child.
Right.
And I am forever grateful for it, because I love the sport, and like, you know, I can go to a firefighter tournament and feel comfortable and socialize and play half decent. Like by no means am I a phenomenal golfer, but I can play around and have a couple good shots and feel good about myself, and play a scramble with some guys and
scramble partner.
Put a couple shots in play, and you know, be a good teammate, so to speak.
For sure. Hey, there you go.
But yeah, no, it's good stuff, man. We got to get out there.
We're gonna get back out there. That's the theme of today's episode. You got to get it back out there. It's all about being a good team member.
Yeah.
And I'd love to have you back on the podcast. Like I said before, we're all moving here.
Yeah.
Adam's actually going to help us.
We're going to work after this.
We're gonna get to work there. But I think that's the best way. I think, you know, we'll get back after another episode here, because I think there's even more to get into. But I think that's the best way to wrap it up, is like, again, you know, life is about working on a team, right? We're one big fucking, you know, we're one big human race here and stuff. And like, not everyone sees it that way. Don't get me wrong. There's sometimes a bit more individual athletes out there, but again, like you said, once you kind of figure out that you're part of that whole, and it's tough, right? Like, especially, you know, people at work, people doing their thing, they're all part of this team that sometimes doesn't feel like quite the team, right? Yeah. Like, so
try not to be a dick.
Don't be a dickhead.
Yeah. Be a decent person, show up, try hard.
Yeah.
I think that's it, really.
Yeah, and make sure you have a good lawyer.
That's it. Thanks for the beer, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Like I said, hopefully this is one of many. Like I was looking back through because I was like, I wonder if Adam ever came on. Checked out. Had John Harley on a bunch of times.
Yeah, I listened to that today. Actually, it's a smart dude.
Dude, the kid knows his shit. So
I love that guy.
Play a little jamboree with that kid too.
Yeah,
so again, stay tuned. Sounds like there's something else there on the horizon. So thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you around. Catch Adam around, maybe at a fire near you. Hopefully it's not at your house.
Shout out to the Tiger Cats hats.
Tie Cats hats. Look at the boys here. Go Cats go. They just lost their first preseason game, but it's going to be a good year.
They'll bounce back.
All right, everyone. We'll see you soon. Peace.